This is the Assessing Reading Skills discussion board. It's Homer again. I have to say that this lesson and this assignment came very, very timely. I am preparing it for ESOL 052 ALPASOL students, which means that they are taking ESOL along with English 101, and they have some real difficulties with academic reading. So what I'm doing is using McCulloch's suggestions and dealing with the ideas of skimming and scanning. So as I put this together, what I wanted to make sure was that the students totally understood the difference when they use skimming and when they use scanning. So I gave them a very short breakdown of what the two are, and then I used a fairly informal assessment of that with simply 4 questions so that they could identify when they need to skim and then when they need to scan. Then I put that in conjunction with one of their very difficult reading assignments. It is the first time that they will have been introduced to a true academic journal entry. And it's not so important that they understand everything about it, but that they understand the difference in academic journal writing and other types of articles. So I've asked them informally, again, to do some very quick skimming and then to come up with no more than 3 sentences of an overall, what is the main idea of this particular reading. Again, introducing to them certain areas that they can get this from, especially from the abstract, the introduction, and the conclusion. So I've asked them to also look at any text features like subtopics, any illustrations to gather their information. I've also given them a time limit to do so. And then in small groups, after that was done, via breakout rooms on Zoom, asking them to come up and discuss their ideas together, coming back together and putting it all together. The second part of that is dealing with the scanning. In their discussion requirement, their discussion board requirement, they must do some pretty intensive scanning in order to identify something about the way teachers approach their students in 5 different schools. This information does not come in the text until about page 5. So it is crucial that they use their scanning techniques looking for the keywords. And I put the information according to Anion. What do teachers in the different types of schools expect from students? I want them to first identify what words they are looking for. Then I want them to identify where they found those words, the page and the paragraph, and doing it in terms of a worksheet so that we can discuss it. And then what information did they receive from that in order to answer their discussion board. Again, the worksheet I think was really, really helpful for them, because then when we discussed it together and they said it was on page 8, paragraph 3, every student could follow along. I think these exercises gave them a much better understanding of skimming and scanning, but using those techniques to go farther into identifying specific items that they needed to include in their writing of a discussion board. So again, taking very simple steps. McCulloch mentions only focusing on 1. I focused on 2, both skimming and scanning, but with a purpose. The assessment is informal, non-threatening. They will have an opportunity for formal assessment once they put their discussion board together.